Imagine you've got an old analog CCTV system, miles of coaxial cable already run, and you're itching to upgrade to modern IP cameras. The thought of ripping out all that wiring. Yeah, that's a headache nobody wants. Well, this little device, the LINOVISION UltraReach PoE over Coax converter, model EOC2, steps in to solve exactly that problem. It's designed to let you transmit both power and data. That's right, PoE, directly over your existing coaxial cables. So those old RG59, RG6, or even RG11 lines that once carried grainy analog video can now power and connect your shiny new IP cameras. It's a pretty clever way to breathe new life into an old setup without the massive cost and effort of recabling. Now, what really stands out here is the UltraReach part. LINOVISION claims this thing can push PoE power and data up to an incredible 3,300 feet, or about 1,000 meters, over Coax. That's a serious distance, especially for a PoE solution. You're looking at a 100 megabits per second data rate for shorter runs, which is perfectly adequate for most IP cameras. But here's the thing, and it's an important detail. Once you go beyond about 1312 feet, or 400 meters, that bandwidth does drop down to 10 megabits per second. For some applications, that's still perfectly fine, but it's definitely something to keep in mind if you're planning on pushing high-resolution, high frame-rate video over those really long stretches. The device itself feels pretty solid. It's got an aluminum baseboard, which isn't just for show, it's there to improve heat dissipation. And honestly, better heat management usually means more stable performance, and, as LINOVISION suggests, even contributes to that extended transmission distance. It's a small detail, but it shows they're thinking about reliability. The unit comes in a simple white finish, which is unobtrusive enough for most installations. Compatibility-wise, it plays nice with standard IEEE 802, 3000ft PoE devices, so your typical IP cameras, PTZ cameras, even PoE phones or readers. And surprisingly, it can even work with non-PoE devices like computers or tablets, though you'd obviously need a separate power source for those. Setup is genuinely plug-and-play. There's no complex configuration required, which is always a welcome relief. However, there are a couple of crucial points to remember. First, you'll need an IEEE 802, 3000ft PoE switch or injector to power the receiver unit, and they recommend a 30-watt input for optimal performance. Second, this is strictly a point-to-point connection. You can't use BNC splitters in your cable run, which makes sense given the nature of the technology, but it's a limitation to be aware of. And here's a very specific quirk. LINOVISION explicitly states that the UltraReach EOC2 isn't compatible with their older long-reach EOC converter, or EOC Switch 08 products. So, if you're expanding an existing LINOVISION EOC setup, make sure you're matching the series. That's a detail you wouldn't want to discover mid-installation. So who is this for? If you're sitting on a mountain of existing coaxial cable and need to upgrade to an IP surveillance system without the nightmare of rewiring, the LINOVISION UltraReach EOC2 offers a really compelling solution. The long-distance capability is impressive, even with the bandwidth trade-off at extreme lengths. Just be mindful of the specific power requirements and the point-to-point nature, and you'll find this converter can save you a ton of time and effort. It's a smart piece of kit for a very specific and common problem.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.